Hey everybody, I know it's been a while, so now we're getting back on track with the classes and the information and things like that. So I just wanted to talk about conjuring power when creating affirmations. It's because this is something that is really, really important, especially if you want to manifest what you set your heart out to manifest. Manifestation cannot happen if, number one, you're unclear of what it is you're trying to bring into your life, right? So I usually encourage those that I work with to take the holistic approach for healing. So you don't want to jump the gun. And I know that there are some people who feel as though when it's time for them to manifest, they just simply have to say a bunch of affirmations and then be done with it, right? Like, hey, universe, here, this is what I want. I'm just expecting it. And the universe is like, well, you're not going to get it. Number one, because you're not ready. Number two, because you don't understand the art of manifesting. So when it comes to healing, the other thing too that is important for you to also know is that it's easier for you to manifest when your desires are in alignment with the desires the universe have for you. It's easier for you to manifest when your desires are in alignment with what the universe has for you, right? So let's say, for example, you're at a job that you cannot stand right now. It could be because you're not getting paid enough. The environment could just simply be toxic. You want more. You're looking for more, right? If that is the case, and you're trying to get from point A, which is the job that you're at now, to point B, where you expect for the universe to take you, you can't do that, right? If you haven't done all the steps in between. Now, there are some people who will literally all day complain. They don't like their job. They don't want to be there. Why, Spirit, are you doing this to me? I deserve better. So they'll say a bunch of affirmations, or they'll pay somebody to do a ritual. And then they say, okay, Spirit, I'm just going to wait for this new opportunity to just come in. I'm just going to wait for the new opportunity. I'm not going to really do what I need to do, right? I'm not going to put in the work. I'm not going to try to work hard so that not only am I using spiritual tools that I'm giving, but I'm also using the resources, the earthly resources that Spirit has given me, right? We don't have people thinking like that. They just seem to think you light a candle, put some energy in it, and then boom, the universe is just going to completely give you what you want. When I grew up in the church, my grandfather and the elders within my church used to have this saying, faith without works is dead. They used to always say that all the time. And they would always say that whenever someone in the church was expecting God to do something, but they themselves would never do anything to change their situation. Same concept here, right? So if you're at this job, and this job is not what you want, right? You know that the universe, your spirit guides, have something more in store for you. Why are you just sitting, waiting for something to happen, right? Don't wait for a door to open. Create your own door. Make your own way. Create your own path. This is the power behind manifestation, right? Because your manifestations cannot have power until you realize your own power. So that's number one. That's why healing is the very number one step that any of us have to do. In fact, if you purchase the manifestations course outside of the VIP program, the very first part of the manifestations course is all about healing, right? There's healing for the inner child. Healing the inner child. There's a video on that. Then there's another video on dealing with toxic folks, right? Because the thing is, you have to rid yourself of all lower vibrational situations, people that can inhibit you from true growth. You have to free yourself from them. This includes trauma. This includes relationships, right? And then the other thing that people do too is they'll look at things from a one-dimensional perspective. So some clients, that I work with too, I have to encourage them to use a multidisciplinary approach to healing. Don't just do spells, right? Don't just do rituals. Go to therapy. Get some self-help books. Make your inner circle stronger. Make sure you're around women who are powerful, women who know what it is they want to do. Make sure you're hanging around people who want abundance out of their lives. One of the common things I've seen, and I see it over and over and over again, when I do career readings, when I do anything related to money, wealth, abundance, career, business, whatever the case might be, the person come in and they are so unbelievably gifted, intelligent, bright. They're a visionary. But because some broken soul from their past got in their ear and made them believe that they were less than, they are sitting on their gifts. So many people that I have seen could be making so much money with the gifts that they possess, but they don't have the confidence to match the gifts that they possess. So they're still sitting in the same position, right? So this again is why healing is so important, because let's say you did the ritual, you did the spell, you're doing the manifestation. And then you're like, you know what, Spirit, I'm ready. Let's say if Spirit was to give you what you wanted, just to teach you a lesson. You're not ready. You didn't do the work, right? You didn't have the dark night of the soul moment. You're just busy trying to get blessings on top of blessings because you're kind of greedy a little bit and selfish. That's what some people, they do. They use spirituality for selfish reasons. And Spirit says, I'm going to teach her a lesson by giving her what she wants, even though she's not ready for it. And so all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get the call about a job opening. You didn't do any work. You didn't prepare. You didn't tweak your resume. You're not prepared for the interview. You haven't added any new skills to your resume. Haven't done any new training, right? You're just like, I'm just going to go for it. It is what it is. And so just by luck, you end up getting what it is that you want. Now you find yourself sitting in a position, number one, that you're probably unprepared for because you haven't put in the work. Number two, you also probably sitting in a position that will get in the way of you going to where you need to go while on your journey. That is why it is so important to be in alignment with what the universe wants for you. Because when you are in alignment, you'll lessen the amount of bumps you hit on the road. Setbacks are inevitable, right? That's a part of life. Life won't always be smooth sailing. But don't make this stuff harder than it has to be, because you're not listening to what the universe is trying to say to you, right? Okay, so number one, we're talking about healing. That's the very first step to all of this. You got to do the preliminary work. Number two, you want to make sure that you're constantly cleansing your area, constantly cleansing your space. Let's say, for example, you've just done some healing work, right? And you feel good. You just done some healing work. You probably had a nice little Reiki session going on. The person sent you some healing energy. Mama, grandmama been praying for you, over you. Your ancestors covering you. You just feel really, really good, right? You feel like there's a light finally at the end of the tunnel. But then every time you go back home, you just notice there's just a dip in your mood. Just a dip in your energy, right? And you can't really put your finger on it. You just know that something isn't right. Something is not the way it's supposed to be. And usually it's because sometimes we actually live in spaces, and when we don't cleanse the space, when we don't get rid of old energy, this is the same concept like getting rid of old junk. So if you have like a bunch of crap in your house, the reason why we do spring cleaning is because we're getting rid of all of the old, right? We're preparing for like a new season. Same thing spiritually. Because otherwise you're just going to keep spiritually triggering yourself. Because things that you're supposed to be away from, that energy is still lingering. right? So you're just triggering yourself. Not to mention, looking from a paranormal perspective, spirits do cling on to people who are down, depressed, consistently. They feed off of that energy, right? So this is why you want to always cleanse your space, cleanse yourself consistently, because that will also help you with the manifestation process. Next, you want to make sure that you reinvigorate your relationship with your spirit guides and your ancestors. Any work that you do, if you do not have a strong, solid connection with your spirit team, it will not be successful. I can promise you. They are the guiding force behind everything that you do. Whatever is culturally relevant to you, do it. Because that's how you honor them. That ensures that they know that you're grateful for everything that they've given to you. Right? Number 3, you want to make sure that your affirmation game is solid. You want to make sure you're creating strong, relevant affirmations, right? So in order to do so, if you want a really strong, solid affirmation, number 1, your affirmation should be written in the present tense. Act like you already have it. Not you will get it, but you have it. Because the law of abundance, that's what we're trying to manifest, right? Now, for those who believe in like the 5D and the 7D and spiritual dimensions, you really understand that a lot of what we're experiencing, this reality really isn't quote unquote real. Everything that we need or want is really at our fingertips, right? Now, some of us have to work a little bit harder than others to get what we want, but it is possible for us to get it. So it should be written in the present tense so that you're always in alignment with what it is you're trying to attract. No negativity, positivity, right? You don't want to feed your fears. This is where you encourage yourself, even if there's no one else with you to encourage you. You also want to make sure that your affirmation clearly discuss your desired outcome. Be really, really clear of what you want. Okay? You can't be vague and then expect for the universe to deliver. And I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the post that went viral on social media where the young lady was like, she asked Spirit if whether or not Spirit can, give her abundance. And with abundance, she meant more money. Well, that wasn't really clear. So what Spirit did is just give her additional hours at work to work. She wanted money. She didn't say how. She didn't say how she expected for Spirit to deliver it to her. So Spirit just gave her what she asked for, which was abundance. You gotta be specific. You gotta be specific. That's the only way to attract what it is you really want. And number 2, spirituality aside, when you're specific, you also know what your goals are in a present tense, right? When I'm talking about like physically speaking in the 3D. You know what it is you need to do to get what you want. Let's say, for example, you're a business owner and you're like, you know what, Spirit, business is slow right now. So right now, I want to, and you're thinking to yourself, this is before you actually write the affirmation, but you're thinking, I want to bring in at least $500 a day with my business. Number 1, with that affirmation, the person or the soul rather clearly is stating what it is that they want. They want the change in their business. Number 2, they know what type of change they want in their business, right? So again, you're going to have to be specific in order to get your desired results. Also, you want to make sure that your affirmation is simple and easy enough for you to remember, and that you always acknowledge the power of the universe or the power of your spirit guides, okay? Some examples, you might want to say, Spirit, I thank you for the 6-figure year my business is having. Spirit, I thank you for the 6-figure year my business is having. I thank the ancestors for my loving, healthy partner. You may not see your soulmate right now, but you know that the universe has your back. You can feel their presence. You know that they're coming. So you're going to act like it's here because it already is. Even though you may not necessarily see it, you feel it. And that is the universe confirming what it is you already know. Right? So, just a really, really quick recap. To create powerful affirmations, number 1, you want to make sure you heal. Number 2, you want to make sure that you're constantly cleansing yourself and your space. Number 3, you want to make sure that you reinvigorate your relationship with your guides and your ancestors. Number 4, you want to make sure that your affirmation game is solid. And number 5, the biggest thing, you just want to relax while you wait for the universe to deliver your desired outcome. Don't worry, don't freak out, right? Get some rest. Your spirit guides, they have your back, hon. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you on another episode.